Hey everyone, just doing a video today, this afternoon here in regards to what I've seen of late. It's disappointing to see that people are still running around grabbing at leaves and branches and not going to the core of corruption. So I thought I'd do this video to help everybody and to show you visually with some documents in front of me. Now, as I've said with all my videos, this is not legal advice. This is an educational process to make people aware of where we stand. And most important is to know who you are and where you stand in regards to questioning the government. Now, I've shared affidavits with a lot of people and examples for them to use from my template, and I really appreciate the families, the Noongar tribes in Western Australia. They've taken it aboard and on board, and they're getting results. I've heard from a few of them. They're getting results in Western Australia that the affidavits are working, and people, especially the children, that have been held in prison for no reason have been released, which is a great point for us in regards to affidavits. So affidavits are so important in documentation because it puts the obligations on them to answer your questions. Now, as I've said before in previous videos, the ABN is key in finding key documents that makes your standing strong. Now, Uncle Koiki told me when he first started his case, or before he actually started, he said to me at work, when I first started working for the Commonwealth, he was with ADC, I was working for the CES, or the Commonwealth Employment Service, and one day we met. I had to take some information to him, and he said to me, "My boy, learn the white man's game and beat them at their own game. Learn their ways and beat them." So I've done that. I've done a lot of thinking and research, and I'm pretty well up to speed with everything. My knowledge is broad because of, thank goodness for all the friends out there in Facebook that have sent me information, emails, that I've done further research on and everything, and especially to a few good friends. I don't want to name anybody because there's too many, but all this information is coming to me and I'll put it all together, and there's bits and pieces I knew, and there was some that I didn't, and then some I knew I had no evidence to back it up, and all the friends have sent me the information just clicked, it just made sense. But I'll show you something to find the ABN. Now, when I've got a legal aid document, this is where I applied for legal aid, just to help me with defamation and also for unfair dismissal. Now, this document itself is evidence of corruption. Okay, there are things on there that shouldn't be on there, and this is a legal document. Now, I've showed you before in regards to dog Latin, and Romney Stewart does that really well in Justinian Deception. The videos, look it up and have a look. But this is just an idea so that you can, to refresh memories and what we're looking for. As you can see, the logo up the top, that is American Sign Language. Okay, so this whole document renders it worthless. And you'll see here, it's bold. Anything with bold, everything else is all rubbish. Because you cannot have two different colors or different text whether you have bold, underlined, and things like that. So you've got to understand the English language as it is. So research it and learn for yourself, because that's what you need to do. You need to teach yourself. People can't feed you all the time, and if there's different sizes in the font, as you can see, probably can't see properly, but there's different sizes all in this document. Right down the bottom is even smaller, and all this document, the different font sizes and that, renders this document worthless. Okay, so if I wanted to, I could take legal aid to this, to court over this, and say, hey, come on, can you prove this document is actually legitimate? You know, they've got to prove that this is a correct English document, and they can't because of the different fonts. The other thing about this document as well, and you'll find with a lot of government departments that write to you a utilities bill or anything, is the very fine print you won't even see, you won't even recognize. But in the middle here, it's got one side the address, the postal address on the other side, but in the middle, it's got the ABN. So they've actually shot themselves in the foot, pretty much. They've got the ABN on there. And when you're an ABN, you're a private company. You cannot represent government. And that's with everything. With Spur, you find the ABN on the letters on Department of Transport. If you have a look, if you just registered your car or paid a fine of some sort, have a look on there on the receipt because it has the ABN on it. Once the ABN's there, they're done. The other thing I want to show you as well, when you get... Now, my fight in the Torres Straits is with all the administration, especially Marigate Kimberley Corporation, because what they do is, what they're doing at the moment is committing fraud. So, and it's simple things such as their letters that they send out to you. Hi, I'm doing a video. Hi, baby. And it's little things like this here. Now, if you have a look at that, letter, you can see there's Dog Latin there. Okay, that's the logo. And in here is incorrect English, so the glosses in there. Glosses is all capitals. So straight away this document is fraud. Okay, I'll just show you what I mean. Now I'm saying it's glosser because if you have a look at it, Marigate Kimberley TSI Corporation, that's not correct English. If you look at it up here, Marigate Kimberley all in capitals and corporation in capitals, there's no such words in English. So people need to understand that. There has to be a hyphen in between all the capital letters. Because where there's a capital letter is a legal terminology. It's law, it's legal law. You can't write a capital and everything else in capital and say that's correct English. It isn't. Okay? And they, again, on their letterhead, they've got their ICN and their ABN. It's all there. So they've shot themselves in the foot. And because they're a corporation. They're a corporation and they have no authority over people's land. Anybody's land on Murray Island. They're an individual private corporation. So a private corporation needs to own property of their own. And they've got none. They rely on the people's land. So I hope you understand that. Now, with the state of Queensland, I posted this before. and share to everybody. Look this document up. It's on the internet. There's a fact sheet on it. Abolition of the Legislative Party. Okay, the upper house. They abolished the upper house in Queensland. So this was in 1922. So this year makes it 99 years of fraud. It's all there. It's on their own document, on their website, on the Queensland Government website. You can find this. Now, as I said, people are grasping at leaves when we're attacking or writing to individual employers or corporations or government agencies. But this is what we're not putting in there. I have no authority because there's been no upper house since 1922. So find this document and send it with your letter. Send it with your letter. Okay. Here's another thing. You can find this on the internet when you go to Edgar Search. Okay. This is the Queensland Treasury Corporation. Okay, Form 18K. Okay. The state of Queensland, Australia. You've got to find this. This is the core of corruption. You find these documents and you write to your member or your council and put it to them. They have no way of disputing your claim. So you've got to build your own defense, offense as well as defense. This is it. They can't possibly dispute that. This is another one. Form 18KA. Now this one says Annual Report of the Commonwealth of Australia. Annual Report of the Commonwealth of Australia. These are documents they can't contest at all in court. You table this in court, they got nothing. That's the thing. Stop grabbing at branches. Go to the core. Go to the core of corruption. And these are a couple of documents that you need to do. And as I said, I'm no lawyer. This is not legal advice, but this is something that you need to have a look for yourself. I've got so many documents. For Torres Straits, this is council. It's all dog Latin. It's all dog Latin. Okay, incorrect English. This is from Peter Krebs. He was the principal legal officer or lawyer for TSRA before. And yet, this one's actually quite special actually. I've held this close to my chest because this is where the law 24JAA to build with or without consent of the community. This is where the land, this was passed, where they could build on somebody's land without permission from the landowner. And that's the thing that sort of gets under my skin as well. Quite actually pisses me off. People keep on saying traditional owner, No, we're landowners. People need to get across that. We're landowners. We own the land. And I'll show you that later on. And this one as well, on the council letterhead. And if you see this in color, it's like green and blue. So the color of the document as well, that's dog Latin, that's American Sign Language. It's there to catch your eye and take you off, and your vision blurs you from what is actually contained in the document. And in here as well, right at the top, they've incriminated themselves. They've got the ABN on there as well. So these are things that we need to understand. When you get a document from any government agency, have a look at it properly. Have a look at it properly because you will find their ABNs on it. Now, a couple more documents here I'd like to show you guys. First Nation tribes, you've seen this, I've shared this. This is a photo that I took at 1770 where Cook landed. He was a lieutenant. So that's it here. 24th of May 1770. It's on the plaque. He was a lieutenant, he wasn't a captain. So a captain is a huh? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, a captain is a non-commissioned officer. He has no authority to claim land at all. So this document here. Okay. Now I've taken the photo of it and I've posted it up on my, so have a look at my page, it's on there. And people are running around looking for constitution and stuff like that. I know it's good to rely on the constitution, but this is the beginning of the lies. We need to capture that. Okay? Now each and everybody that's born in Australia are free people. Free people, and I've got documents to actually show that as well. Now, this document here, a National Act of Recognition. This is from Lieutenant James Cook's journal, and he knew that there was people here. Okay, now this is dated 28th of April 1770. Okay, now this other document that I showed you, it was May. The other one I showed you before was May. Sorry, this one here, that was May. Okay. The monument photo is May 25th, and this is 28th of April 1770. Okay, so it's all there. And this I got on Murray Island from the recognised crew that came around and was talking to all the communities and that. So this is where I got that document of. So they have the journals of Cook and Banks on hand. So it's a matter of writing to them and getting a copy of this. Now remember that date is 28th of April 1770. And this one here is James Cook as well. Okay, Lieutenant James Cook, 22nd of August 1770, Possession Island. Okay, and it's really, well, I've read this before to everybody. He knew there was people here. Now, it's interesting when you have a look at the history and you do your research, you'll see that the Dutch had claimed the Northern Territory, Western Australia, so he claimed the East Coast. It's here. Okay, so I hope that, but this again is from the recognised team, all right? And on the bottom here it's got source H.M. Bark Endeavour Journals, James Cook. So it's all there. But get your hands on these two documents if you can. Okay. So the first one is 28th of April 1770. The other one is 22nd of August 1770. And remember the plaque is 25th of May 1770. So they all tie in together. This is a corruption. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to show everybody is, especially to First Nations people, is the same thing here, the South Pacific Act. Now, I've seen a lot of people still running around and grabbing branches and not the real court. This is where we actually are equal sovereigns. We are sovereign. This act. Okay. This page here is section 7. Okay. Saving the rights of the tribes. Okay. Now you're going to find that it's on the internet. It's readily available. Just type in Pacific Islanders Protection Act 1875 or 1872 to 1875, and it'll come up. And this is what it is. I'll just read a bit of this act. Okay, Pacific Islands Protection Acts 1872 and 1875. An act for the prevention and punishment of criminal outrages upon natives of the lands in the Pacific Ocean. There it is. So I've had a few other people ask me about this, and I've sent them I've sent them this document and use the whole act. You can stand on the whole act. Now it's been proven in court from Brother Rex in Western Australia, in Perth. Now, when he went for his son, he used the South Pacific Act and questioned the judge in regards to the powers. And after the court had finished, the judge came over and said to Brother Rex, "You're right, we have no powers. It's because of this act." So we need to learn from these. I know Brother Rex probably didn't know I was going to mention him in this video, but I don't think he would mind at all. But it works. So we've got to get behind this act. Section 7, okay? Protection of tribes. Now, knowing your standing is very important. Now, I've done a lot of history the last 3-4 months in regards to who I am. I've done this especially for court because I'm constantly told by the board directors of Merrigat Kimberley Corporation in Murray Island that I'm a nobody. So I've done some research on it and I've got documents. I can't wait to see their faces in court anyway. But I'd like to show you something. I have this document, and it's Malos Galar. It's one page, and the second page is just the interpretations written by the old people. This document was done in 1970s. Don't know what date or whatever. But on this corner here, it has a reference number. See that reference number there? And it's got H1. And what that number is, it represents, is Mabo number 1. It's a reference number. This document was tabled in court in Mabo and others versus Queensland government. So this document, this common law document, common law, it's common law. Malos Galar is Malos law, is the deity that our old people served, and we still adhere to these laws here. There's 25 of them. They're all here written in lingo, in Merriam lingo. Okay, so I have it all. So this was given to me in 2016. Yeah, 2016 this was given to me. And I haven't given it to anybody because it's for a purpose, and it's only to specific people that you could hand these laws to, that you know will uphold the law. So that's very important. Now, as I said before, everybody needs to know where they're standing, and this is very important, to know your common law. So whatever tribe you are in Australia, even if your original tribe, or you've moved here on the first ship, the last ship, or just recently, you can still rely on your law from your either your native country of birth or from your ancestors. I've still got ours, okay, for Meriam people. Now this law has been here since time immemorial, and we still practice those laws. The kids today don't know these laws. Nobody teaches them. Nobody teaches these laws. There's 25 here, and bits and pieces people know, but the others they don't. And this common law document, these laws, you can use as your defense as well. Not only offense, but defense as well. And I've worked out which ones they are. Okay? Now, if you've seen my affidavits, I begin with, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth, which is the first thing. And then further on, reading on, is that God made man in his own image. Now, when we are created in God's image, we are given land. We are born into property. And that's so important, because that's where your standings are. And you'll see all the international laws, human rights laws, is in regards to property. So you must understand where you come from. And as I said, like, I've got Malo's law here. I've got Malo's Galar here with me. The other one here I have done the research. And this one is the cult of Bomai and Malo. Okay? The Malo Bomai cult that was in Torres Straits or in Murray Island. Murray, Erub, Danley, and Stephen Ugar. So this is the cult. Everything that was practiced, it names the people that was in there. Okay? Now I had to go back and dig this up to find exactly who I was, and I read this document. And then people have seen Drums of Mer, the book. Drums of Mer, the book. Have a look in there, because it tells of people. And if you really study the book and the Haddon Report, this is from the Haddon Report of 1800. So if you study both together, they all come together. The names and this cult, they all come together. So, and I'm so blessed to find that my ancestor was actually in this cult. Alright. That's about it. I guess, oh, here we are. Excuse me. I got caught out in the rain yesterday. A bit of rain here in Gladstone. I'd like to share this as well. This is from Haddon as well. This is from Haddon. Now you see it's on pink paper, because when you go to court and you present it on pink, it's all about colour law. The judge knows exactly what this document means. It means a remedy. You're asking for a remedy. Okay? Without even looking at the document or presenting this document, the judge that sits up there on his seat knows exactly from a pink document you are requesting or you are seeking a remedy. I'll just read from the first top paragraph. Property and inheritance. This is section 9 of the Haddon Report by the late Anthony Wilkin. Queensland law has not affected native land tenure. Now the key word here in the start of this document is affected. Affected, not effected. Okay? Queensland law has not affected native land tenure, which is upheld in the court of the island. In the same instances, it is not impossible that English ideas, especially of inheritance, are making themselves felt. Pretty straightforward there. So there was no influence from any outside English influence in regards to land. It was still owned by our old people and up to today. There is no common land, and not each makes his own garden on his own land at his own convenience. We know every rock, every grass, every tree on every island in Torres Straits is owned by somebody. It's owned by one family. So that's so important to know. So this is 1800. Queensland has nothing to do with the land up there. And we know with the land tenure, the Lands Protection Act, it means nothing if you present this. Okay. Now, there's a couple of other things here. With that document, there's no influence. I've shown you this. I've shared this on. This is my grandmother's document that the land was given to my father. So I don't want to read anything because I've already read it before. So it's all there. This complements this, what's said here. Okay, from Haddon, this is evidence of that. And this other letter as well. This one I will read because it's for my family in Torres Straits to understand exactly where we are in regards to our own standings and family and land. And it's so important. Actually, I might read both of them again together because they both of them complement each other. And it shows the practice has been ongoing for since time immemorial. This is Maimata, my grandmother Maima, her document. Now she was illiterate. Now this was written by Chief Councillor Jacob Gabby. Now Mapata, he was the principal of Mary Ellen at the school. So he was the principal. And the other one that has signed off with him is Councillor Marau. So Marawata was there as well as a witness. So there's two of them there. Maima lands are to Tatbero, the property known as Kiam, Mager, Bodmob, Womot, Ardor, Eum, Arid. They're all there. Okay. Dated 27th day of May 1934. So, I feel sorry for my big brother Tadu there. He's arguing about the land where Kiam, but this document clearly states it's my dad's. Nothing to do with their daddy. Okay. And there's other things as well that that I know, and it'll hurt family, but I don't really want to go into it. But I was told that Maimata was already, not Maimata, Awayata was already Kem when she got married, and the Sambo family turned their back on them because I couldn't work out why Dad and Dedawa fight the Lokia, but that was because Dedawa was Sumes. So, and I couldn't work it out. Why did they fight? Because being brothers, but they weren't brothers. Find out now. And this evidence is from an elder that told me, no, Hawaiata was already pregnant. She was already pregnant, that's why they fought. And Dad kicked him out. So this is my mother's document. Now the second one is Berwata, my grandfather's document. Now this is for Ausi Nazareth, Reuben there, and the children, for your knowledge, and the ANSI family as well. So this is for use as well, so to understand. Now when I get to Townsville, I'll give this document to, I'll give a copy of this document to OCC and whoever else, all the ANSI family, this document here. Now, Murray Allen, 20th of March 1950, Gibra, wife of Jack Ansi. Now that Jack Ansi is Ansanata. Okay, so your kids there, this is your grandfather's present child. This is to certify that I, Bero, says. Now see, this is Berota. He signed his name Bero says. So my original surname is Ses. We've always known that. The original surname is Ses. It's not Bero. It is Ses. Father of Gibra Ansi. Gibra Ansi. Gibra is Big Mommy, my dad's elder sister Gibra. Says, have this day, the 12th of March 1953, given to Gibra, wife of Jack Ansi, in brackets, and his heirs are present of the freehold, there's a key word there, freehold, of one portion of land situated at Deudu Northwest, situated garden land at Murray Allen. And Berata's signature is there, very small, and witness, Chairman Marau. So Marata, witness, Berata. Okay. But today I hold the name Bero. Berata, he didn't like Ses for some reason, and he changed his name to Bero. That is where I got my surname and my family since then. But this is document. This was a wedding present Granddad gave to Gibrama, Bigama. That was a wedding present because Ansenata was a South Sea man. So that land, because he has no land on Murray Allen, so that's why Berata gave him land at Deudu. So, well, I guess that's it for me today, guys. I thought I'd do this video. Remember, find the core. Read their documents properly, because the evidence is on there. Where did I bloody put it? Yeah, their documents. Have a look at the government documents that you were sent. They actually incriminate themselves. So everything that we do. If you're unsure, just text me. Look, I'm so sorry I can't get emails out. Everything, I am just being bombarded by the government. I've got restrictions on my phone and everything, so I can't even make a phone call to my grandchildren. So, but I hope the information I've shared. Please, if you want some help from me, please have a look at my other videos first, because there may be the information you need in there. Alright guys, stay safe, God bless, goodbye.